Hi, I will be presenting my codes applying the 2D array and circular linked list. So to start with the 2D array, I have here a sample code with the application of the 2D array. So as you can see, I have initiated a total of 6 one-dimensional arrays that includes preloaded information about different individuals. And then after loading the one-dimensional arrays, I have loaded user profiles array, which is a 2D array since it consists of the items that it consists are all one-dimensional arrays. And then the body of my code can be seen at the bottom. I believe it would be best to demonstrate how the code works. Let me just load the terminal. So as you can see here, right? So if the user of the program wants to know the roster or the values of a specific attribute about the users, he or she can choose options 1 to 5. Any of the options from 1 to 5. So for example, I want to see the bachelor's degree of all the users. So I would choose input 3 and then it will show all the degrees of all the users in the names array. And then, for example, I want to know the names of all the users in the list. I would just input 1 and then it will show me all the users in the list. And then if I want to search for for the information of a specific individual, this is the best application of the 2D array since it searches not just on the user profiles array but also on the multiple one-dimensional arrays within the user profile array. So, for example, I want to view the information about Nika. So I will just input 6 as the choice and then select the specific user ID number. So since I want to view Nika's information, I will just input 1 and then that would show me all the information about Nika. That's it. And then let me discuss briefly the circular link list. Right. Now for the circular linked list, I have created a code here that I would demonstrate later on. So just to give an overview, we have defined the class node and the class circular linked list. And within the class circular linked list, we have defined the functions required on this assignment, which are insert, delete, and search. And then for delete and search, I have included a specific if statement to check if the data to be deleted or that is searched for is the head. And then I have here at the bottom the rest of the codes or the loop to show the menu and then the corresponding conditions depending on the user input. So just to demonstrate how the program works, let me just load it. So for the circular link, for example, I have a circular linked list that contains the information about the class list. So initially, I don't have any names in the class list. So if I display the student names, it will show that it has nothing to display. And then if I want to add a student, so if I select 2, and then I add a name, for example, Nika, and then I want to add another one. For example, I want to add Camille, and then checking if those names were added to the list, I would select 1 and then it would show that Nika and Camille are on this list. And then let me just add another one. Let's say Myra. Let's check. So Myra has been included at the end of the list. For example, I want to delete Camille as a student. So I would just select 3 in the options and then input Camille. And then let's check. So it has successfully deleted Camille from the student list. Now let me add another one. So for example, I want to add Jane. And then checking if Jane has been successfully added. Yeah. And then, for example, I have a very long list of class of student names. If I want to check if a student is a member of the class, I would just select option 4, and then selecting option 4, I would be asked for a specific name of the student. For example, I want to search for Nika. It will show me that the student is found. For example, I want to search for a name other than Nika. For example, I'll be searching for Camille, who you removed earlier. It will show that the student was not found. And then another question um, in this assignment is the application of stacks and queue in relation to the sustainable developmental goals that we have. So let me just show my screen. All right. So the problems that I have identified is the existence of unequal benefits and opportunities that are available for men and women around the world. So the sustainable developmental goal that I have chosen is about gender equality. So for the first problem, back when I was still in Dubai, I noticed that there are women-only carriages in every metro train. So due to the existence of these women-only spaces or cabins in Dubai, there has been an obvious difference in the treatment if you're a guy passenger. During a weekday rush, when everyone would onboard the train to get to their place of work, men are significantly given less space than women since there are cabins that are available for women and children only. I understand that one may argue that this is for safety reasons, but wouldn't this also imply that men aren't that susceptible to any harassment or danger? I think having special privileges for being an elderly or a person with disability is unarguably necessary, but having disadvantages by being a woman who needs to go from one place to another just like the rest of the men passengers seems kind of problematic for me. Well, in my opinion, a proper queuing system with a first in, first out mechanism would equalize the experience for both men and women as passengers who needs a transportation service. And then the second problem that I have identified regarding gender equality is the layoffs that has happened during the pandemic in the tech industry. So, men are known to be the firsts to dominate the tech industry in early years. However, during the pandemic, when layoffs are being done left and right, there has been a favor given to men in the workplace. Actually, a study by Women Tech Network in 2022 showed that from the 54 companies that are selected for the study, 69.2% of the total individuals that were let go of are actually women. Women are perceived to be less competent than men in this industry, and in effect, we're actually the first on the list when the firms decide who to terminate. I believe that if we treat men and women equally in any industry, we can formulate a more objective way of handling layoffs. Similar to the concept of stacks, last in, first out method makes more sense to me when determining who to retain in a company during these hard times. Actually, prioritizing to retain employees who have been with the company longer is, I think, a form of giving back to these people who showed loyalty over the years. We can also argue that these people who have been working for a longer period than the others are more experienced in their roles already and jobs when compared to those whose tenures are way shorter. That's it. So those are my submissions for the first assignment. Thank you.